you, Mary. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I really want to thank all of the staff who have joined us today, as well as the staff who are out busy making all of our systems run, keeping our streets clear, paying our bills, and just helping the city run as they do every day. Also, a special thank you to the elected officials in the room. I believe I saw Dr. Tyler Titus is here, Council President. I think Kathy Schaaf is here as well, Vice President of Council. Thank you so much. And Andre Horton, thank you for joining us, council members. I just want to also thank the members of the transition team who were able to join us today. We do have 9 other members who couldn't be with us, but are here in spirit. And I'm really just here to introduce and thank the team for their incredible work. My name is Lori Ratter Spicer. I had the privilege of serving as the chair of our transition team for Mayor Daria Devlin, and I now serve as her chief of staff. And I can't begin to tell you the incredible work and effort that came from this transition team. They poured their hearts and souls into this process, brought a deep well of care, thoughtfulness, and experience to the table. And they also could not have done all that they did without the support of many of the folks in the room, members of city staff, community members, business owners, and all of the people who were generous enough to sit down, have conversations, and allow this team to faithfully and curiously listen and strategize about the work that needs to be done from here. So just a huge thank you. If we could, a round of applause of gratitude. We're thrilled to release this report today. It's truly the result of collective listening and collaboration. And with that, I'm introducing Janessa Norton, a member of our transition team, to tell you more about what's in the report.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out today. Everyone that is tuning in online, we appreciate your presence today. I'm going to talk a little bit, I promise not to take up too much of your time, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the transition team. You know, Mayor Devlin has done a great job of explaining what a transition team is and what a transition team is not. I'm going to talk a little bit about the process that this team has taken to get to this report today, as well as the report itself that I think is, we're all excited to see. I believe it'll be public here pretty soon, if it's not public already. So our transition team was tasked with reviewing a significant amount of information and helping to prepare Mayor Devlin's administration for office. Each member of this transition team was assigned with a different specific priority area based on their specific expertise in that area. So they were tasked with looking into what's working, what's not, different processes, and exploring opportunities for improvement to help make City Hall more responsive, collaborative, and effective for all of its residents. We engaged with, as you can imagine, many different departments, both in City Hall, outside of City Hall, key stakeholders, community partners. One of my most favorite part about it was honestly just engaging with community residents. So that looks like holding meetings, having roundtable discussions, conducting interviews, sending out surveys, but also for those that were aware of the community conversation that took place at the Booker T. Washington Center on January 10th, that was a great place for community residents to come out and explain in their shared lived experiences, what they believe is working, any recommendations that they may have. And I know the administration is really dedicated to having more of those roundtable discussions, so more to come. But as you can assume, this was a really collaborative and thorough process to ensure each of us gained a deep understanding for how of these things are happening and what is working and what is not. So the area of focus is, as you can imagine, anyone that has, followed Mayor Devlin from her campaign all the way until Inauguration Day, you will not be surprised of these areas of focus whatsoever. But the report is split into 5 core issues that shape the daily life in Erie and the city's long-term health. So number 1, in no particular order, is housing and neighborhood development, youth, and how we invest in youth and we support our youth. Workforce and economic development and the growth of that, as we understand that that is the key to reversing population decline. Budget and financial sustainability, which determines the ability to invest in our neighborhoods, among many other things. And as she has preached from the beginning, leadership, culture, and service delivery. How City Hall operates, but also how residents experience that, and how we take these transition reports and all of these recommendations and these plans and we implement it into results. So each section provides context, key observations, and addresses our current challenges that we have right now while positioning ourselves for that sustainable growth. The report itself, when you get into those 5 sections, they'll have 3 subcategories, so short-term, mid-term, and long-term recommendations. This will help the administration to focus on the immediate needs, the things they need to tackle right away, while still planning for that medium-term, things we need to start working towards while building long-term resilience. So we can ensure a safer, more efficient, and more vibrant community for all of Erie's residents. Taken together, these sections are intended to offer both a clear picture of Erie's current moment and a practical roadmap to guide the work ahead. And I say that with so much love because I think we all understand there is a lot of work ahead. And as the transition team's work comes to an end, the administration's work truly does just begin. So I hope we can offer this administration some grace and some love as they work through these work plans and these recommendations over time. So major themes and like high-level takeaways that we all took in as we were doing our research and our engagement with the community is the transition team really analyzed that Erie is full of some serious talent, some unwavering pride, and there's an exciting momentum that is felt, momentum that is seen, and now is the time to meet that moment. Community members also shared, whether that was at the roundtable discussion or various other forms of engagement and communication, they shared their challenges that they continue to face, whether that's housing, whether that's workforce changes and challenges, public safety, financial constraints, some community efforts that may feel fragmented, systems that are confusing for some and disconnected completely for others. So across each area of focus, we observed significant overlap around the need for better communication, clearer processes, and more coordinated collaboration to improve responsiveness and effectiveness across the board. So this report is offered to Mayor Devlin and her administration to support that early priority setting and long-term planning. And on behalf of the entire transition team, we thank you for the ability to do this work. It's very important work, and we enjoyed it quite a bit. And we hope this report itself serves as a guidepost, truly just a starting point to help turn Erie's potential into tangible results for our beautiful community. And I will turn it over to Mayor Devlin for some closing remarks.
Thank you, Janessa. Thanks for asking for grace. We appreciate that right out of the gate. And I really want to say to Janessa and the entire transition team, both those that are here and those that couldn't make it today, this was an incredible amount of work. And we understand we're 4 weeks into our administration and we just have this report, but that's because of the depth and the breadth of the work and the care that was taken to make sure this was not just a formality, a box-checking exercise. It was truly intended to guide us. So I'm so grateful to them. I also want to say just one more time, these were volunteers who prepared this, who did this on their own time. No one was paid for any of their expertise or their work. So please join me in one more round of applause for their commitment to our city. And a special thank you to Amy Murdoch and her team at Our Plan for putting the actual document together. It's how many pages, Amy? 50 pages. It's in depth. It is posted on our website. We do have some hard copies here if you're interested, but this was a giant body of work. So Amy and your team, thank you so much. So before we wrap up today, I just want to tell you now what comes next. What do we do with this document? So as we've said, this report is not another plan that will sit on a shelf. It's a starting point that will help us guide our priority setting, as Janessa said, and our early action, with the understanding that this work will continue to evolve as we continue to understand the community's needs. So over the past few weeks, we've already begun implementing some of these recommendations. You've seen our reorganization of offices that we announced a few weeks ago that really came right out of the plan. And today I'm announcing one additional appointment, one that will further strengthen our ability to deliver on the recommendations. I'm proud today to officially introduce our new solicitor, Attorney Jason Check. Jason, if you could stand. You all know Jason. He is not a stranger to City Hall, previously having served as our deputy solicitor. You know, when you come in an administration, I think there's maybe a tendency to say, well, I'm going to start fresh and new. And as I was beginning to understand who we needed as a solicitor, I really came to realize that the solution was right under our nose. Jason is very well versed in what we need to do here at City Hall. We're very grateful to have him now officially in this capacity. He brings deep legal experience, a strong understanding specifically here in Erie, and a shared commitment to transparency. So Jason, welcome. We're excited to get to work. So now that we have truly a full team in place, our next step is to distill the transition team recommendations into these measurable short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. These will guide our first year and our entire term. We will then be presenting those goals to our entire body of city employees next Friday, February 6th. So those of you that are sitting here are city employees. There's no test. You don't have to read the document and come ready. When we all come together next Friday on February 6th, we're grateful to Gannon University for allowing us space for this full-day retreat. As many of our employees from City Hall that can be there will be there, and I shouldn't say just from City Hall, all of our employees. We will then present these recommendations and ask each department to get into their groups and understand what their goals need to be, what their action plans need to be to get us to achieve these goals. So we're really excited to do this day-long strategic planning session. Again, each department will then understand their role in getting us here, and I think it's something new and something different. We're really grateful that our city employees are open to this opportunity and this possibility. So from the beginning, I've been clear that we intend to lead this administration and this city with transparency and with accountability. And that's why we are approaching this work with the clear strategies that are laid out in today's report. The release of this report reflects the voices, the expertise, and the dedication of people who care really deeply, like all of us do, about Erie's future. And I want the transition team to know we will honor your work with our action. I can make that commitment to you. The report is also a key part of Erie's next chapter. You've heard us say that before. I'm so grateful we're now going to write these new pages together. Thank you all for being here. Thanks to our electeds, also to our controller, Brooke Sanfilippo. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to take some questions from the press when we break. Thank you all for coming and listening. There is some copies around, but go to the website, make sure you check out the report. We'll see you all next Friday. Thank you so much.